Hi guys, this is Shyam Kanuri. I am your faculty for paper 4, that is Business Economics and Management. So today we are here to discuss bullet 400 MCQs in Economics and Management. Before going to the concept of bullet 400, just give me 5 minutes of your valuable time. I'll tell you why a student should select BCCA institute in his CA or CMA career. So in BCCA, we have expert faculty. That means the faculty who only focus on giving conceptual clarity to the students and who will give practical insights and the confidence before the exams to the students. So in BCCA, we have structured learning approach, so which helps building concept to the students, and here we will provide regular revision sessions and practice sessions to the students, which will improve their conceptual building. So in BCCA, we provide regular tests, that means grand tests and weekly tests, to track the performance of the students. In BCCA, we provide digital classrooms, so which offers a blended learning experience to the student. And here we maintain a student-centric environment. This means we believe in mentoring, not just teaching. Here BCCA supports students with motivational sessions, career counselings, and one-on-one guidance. And here we have proven track record of results. That means our past students have scored excellent ranks in the previous examinations, and we are maintaining consistency in giving great pass percentages to the students. So this is why every student should select BCCA in his CA or CMA path. So now we are moving to the day before exam strategy. The first preference you have to give to markets because it consists 20% of marks, and money and banking. This chapter also contains 20% of marks. Next, economics and business environment consists of 15% of our total marks. So by covering these three concepts, you will get around 55% of marks in the final exam. So before going to exam, at least revise markets, money and banking, economic and business environment. After covering this, you have to refer management. Management consists 30% of marks in our final exam. So after referring markets, money and banking, economic and business environment, you have to refer management concepts. So after revising these concepts, you have to revise 1 to 6 concepts. It contains around 50% to 20% of marks in our final exam. So first thing, you have to give preference to markets, money and banking, and economics and business environment. After that, management, and after that, the first concepts, that is 1 to 6 concepts. Clear? So now we are moving to bullet 400 MCQs. So what is our first chapter? The fundamentals of economics. So our first MCQ is, dash is the father of economics? Adam Smith. The book written by Adam Smith is An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nation. So it was published by Adam Smith in which year? 17. So these are some definitions given by some famous economists. So wealth definition is associated with JBC, and welfare definition is associated with Alfred Marshall. Scarcity definition is associated with Lionel Robbins. Growth definition is associated with J.M. Keynes and P.S. Samuelson. The welfare definition of economics was introduced by In economic, goods includes material thing which can be transferred, exchanged for one another, both, none. So what is the answer? Why? Goods can be transferred and exchanged for. So answer, both. Economic resources are limited supply but have alternative uses. Which of the following is not a central problem of society? What to? So what are the central problems of society? What to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. So the answer is what to eat. Which of the following relates to microeconomics? So firstly, microeconomics focus on only individual things. Macroeconomics focus on economy aggregately or economy as a whole. So here the answer is D. Why? Here only the thing focus on wheat production and wheat prices. This is an individual unit. So it is considered in microeconomics. So when we see the first three, inflation, bank savings and investment, information technology and economic growth, these will be covered under macroeconomics. Why? Because these things are based on economy as a whole. So next we are going to the chapter theory of demand. A typical demand curve will normally have a which slope? Why? Because there is an inverse relationship between price and the demand of a commodity. When the price increases, demand decreases. When the price decreases, so because of the negative relationship between price and the demand curve will always slope negative. Goods which are perfect substitutes to each other will have elasticity greater than 1. Okay. Why greater than 1? Even if the price of tea falls by very small amount, the amount of demand of coffee will be very large. So that's why it is greater than 1. If the goods are not substitutes at all for one another, the elasticity situation will be 0. Why? Why? Because there is no existence of relationship between two goods, so the elasticity will be always 0. Market demand curve for a commodity is a horizontal summation of the entire individual. Market demand curve means nothing but the summation of all individual demand curve. So the answer is A. If the cross price elasticity of demand for two products is negative, then two products are complementary to each other. Why? So examples of complementary goods means car, petrol. When the price of car increases, the demand for car decreases and the demand for petrol decreases. Here we are seeing the negative relationship between the price of the car and demand of the petrol. So it is the complementary of two goods whose cross price elasticity is always negative. What is positive? Substitute goods. If the price of petrol rises from 40 to 48 per liter, the demand for a car falls from 60 to 45 per month, then the cross elasticity of petrol and the car is. So here the formula is delta Q by delta P into P by Q. Here delta Q means change in quantity. Here what is the change in quantity? 60 minus that is next. What is delta P? Change in price. This is nothing but. So next P. What is the original price? Rises from 40 to 48. That means original price is. So next Q. What is the original demand? 60. So by doing this calculation, what you have got? 1.25. So this is the formula we have to use while calculating the elasticity. So what's the formula? Delta Q by delta P into P by Q, where delta Q means change in quantity demanded, where delta P means change in price, P is original price, Q is original quantity. If the disposable income of household increases by 10%, the demand for the bread falls by 5%, then elasticity of bread. Here what formula we have to use? Change in quantity demanded divided by change in percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. It is income elasticity. So here 5% divided by nothing but when the income increases, demand have to be increased, but here income increased by 10%, demand fall by 5%. So it's showing negative relationship, that means inferior goods. So is it 0.5 or minus 0.5? Minus, showing here negative relationship between income and demand. If a price rises from 40 to 44 and quantity demand falls from 100 to 96, the demand is. What we have to do here? First we have to find elasticity. What's the formula? Delta Q by delta P into P by Q. So find elasticity. So here what is elasticity? 0.4. So 0.4 means it is less than 1. When the elasticity is equals to 1, it is unitary elastic. Greater than 1 means relatively elastic. Less than 1, relatively inelastic. So here the elasticity is 0.4. So what is the answer? It is less than 1, that means it is inelastic. Which of the following changes would represent a movement along the demand curve rather than a shift? When will the movement along the demand curve exist? Expansion and contraction. When will the shift appears? Increase or decrease in the demand. So what is meant by contraction or expansion? When the demand changes with the price of the same commodity. So what is increase or decrease in the demand? Except price of the commodity, what are the other factors? Price of related commodities, disposable income. So other ceteris paribus conditions. So it is P and it is Q. When the price changes, the quantity demand changes. So here there will be only one demand curve. That is nothing but movement along the same demand curve. But in case of increase or decrease in the demand, what will happen? Will the price change? Will the price change? No. Price will not change. What will change? Other factors. So here the price will be constant. Quantity demand changes by change of other factors. So if demand increases, what will happen? It will shift to right. If demand decreases, it will shift to. So are you clear between movement along the same demand curve and the shift in the demand curve? So here the answer is Price of the, okay. By consumer surplus, economist means, tell me what is consumer surplus? Willing price minus actual price. What a consumer is willing to pay minus what's the actual price of the product. So here, what is the answer? The difference between the maximum amount a person is willing to pay for a good and its market price. Market price is nothing but the actual price. Luxury goods have dash degree of elasticity. Necessities have low. The price demand curve slopes downwards from left to slopes downwards from left to. In case of inferior goods, the consumer, what he will do? Even if the income increases, the consumption of those inferior goods will be decreased. So he will purchase less with the increase in income. So is it A? An increase in price will cause a demand curve shift to right. True or false? Increase in price. True or false? Increase in demand will cause a demand curve shift to right. But the question is telling increase in price. So is it true or false? False. So next we are moving to the chapter Theory of Supply. So equilibrium state is achieved at the intersection of Y. Equilibrium point is nothing but where the quantity demand and quantity supply are equal or same. So it is the point where consumers and producers both satisfied. A supply curve parallel to x-axis means the product supply is parallel to x-axis. That is perfectly elastic. So for a perfectly elastic supply curve, ED equals to infinite. So the answer is if a dealer is prepared to supply 1000 sets of color TV, the price is 12,000 per set. However, if the price rises to 15,000, he is prepared to supply 1500 pieces. The elasticity of supply of TV is. So what formula we'll use here? Again, delta Q by delta P into P by Q. So calculate elasticity by using this formula. That is approximately 1.9999. That is nothing but 2. Got it? So when we have to calculate elasticity, what formula we have to use? Delta Q by delta P into P by Q. So all got answer? Next one. The supply function of a product is Sx equals to 5px plus 3, where px stands for the price. The quantity supplied corresponding to the price of rupees 2 will be. What we have to do here? We have to substitute rupees 2 in the place of px. So 5 into 2 plus 3, 10 plus 3, that is nothing but 13. Market equilibrium of a commodity is determined by balancing of demand and supply position. That is nothing but where the demand and supply are equal. So the answer? Which of the following is not factor of market supply of product? So what's the question? not a factor of supply. Cost of production, market price of the product, price of the related products, these all are the factors of supply. But the number of buyers, it is the factor of demand. Supply curve passing through the origin will have elasticity. Passing through origin, that means ED equals to 1. That is nothing but unitary. Okay. Under the law of supply, ceteris paribus is cost of production, production technology. These two are the factors of supply. So ceteris paribus means nothing but the other factors of the supply. So the answer, if the proportionate change in the supply is equals to proportionate change in the price, it is said to be. So what it means? Percentage change in price equals to percentage change in supply. So the answer, unitary elastic. The supply curve always slopes upwards. The demand curve always slopes from both the curves will be starts from left and ends. So the answer, in case of rare coins, the supply curve will be vertical. Why? Because in case of rare coins, the supply is limited. It cannot be extended. So it is vertical. Vertical or parallel to y-axis. In case of supply of labor, the curve will be backward. Why it is backward bending? Up to a certain level, if the wages increases, the work hours worked by the labor will be increased. But after a certain point, even if the wages increases, the work level done by the labor will be decreased. So up to a certain level, it will be increasing, and after that it will start decreasing. So it is backward bending. If a firm produces 200 units of commodity X by employing 10 workers and 240 units of the same commodity by employing 12 workers, the average product of the worker is. So what we have to calculate here? The average product, that is nothing but total units divided by number of workers. That is 240 divided by 12. What will get? What will get? Or change in production divided by change in labor. That is 40 divided by 2. Again we are getting. So the answer is, which one of the following will have high inelastic supply? What is meant by inelastic? Even the price is increased heavily, but the elasticity will be changed up to small portion when compared to price. So what is this? Perishable goods. What are meant by perishable goods? Single time used goods. So first one, consumer durable goods. Consumer durable goods will have highly elasticity. Items of elite class consumption, that is nothing but luxury goods. Luxury goods also will have high elasticity. So the answer, perishable goods. Even the price of perishable goods decreased by a large amount, what will happen? The demand will be changed by, the supply will be changed by only small portion. So next we are moving to the chapter Theory of Consumer Behavior. So the first one, the law of diminishing marginal utility states that. Tell me what is LDMU, law of diminishing marginal utility means? The additional benefit that derives from the consumption of additional unit will start decreasing or diminishing. That is nothing but the law of diminishing marginal utility. So which statement defines that? Eventually, additional units of a given product will yield less and less extra satisfaction to a. This is nothing but the additional satisfaction that a person derives from additional unit of consumption will start decreasing or less and less extra. Got it? The law of diminishing marginal utility developed by Alfred Dash is the first law of consumption. The law of diminishing marginal utility. Let a firm employs 10 laborers to produce 150 units of output. If 11 are employed to produce 166 units of output, the marginal product is. So what is meant by marginal product? Nothing but the additional benefit. Nothing but additional benefit. So by employing one extra labor, what is the additional benefit they got? 16. Up to now, 10 laborers are producing 150 units. From now, 11 laborers are producing 166. So by employing one labor, the production increased by 16. So the answer? B. The concept of consumer surplus was introduced by Professor Alfred Marshall. Consumer surplus is a concept, the difference between willing price and the which is not a limitation to the law of diminishing marginal utility. Normal goods. So collection of rare goods, is it a limitation or not? So by collecting extra amount of rare goods, our satisfaction will be increased, not decrease. And hobbies, money and gold, by consuming and additionally what will get? Extra satisfaction, not diminishing satisfaction. So what is the answer? Normal goods. So normal goods is not a limitation to LDMU. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Incorrect. Total utility is the sum of marginal utility. Is it correct or not? When MU is 0, TU is maximum. That is also when MU decreases, TU increases. That is also correct. But will TU becomes negative? TU never becomes negative. So now we are moving to the chapter Theory of Production. So total output is maximum when? As we know, total output is maximum only when MP is 0. When MP is decreasing, total output will be increasing. When MP is 0, total output is maximum. When MP becomes negative, total output starts decreasing. So total output is maximum when MP is equals to 0. A quantity of a commodity that an individual is willing to purchase over a specific period of time is a function. So this statement is telling that is demand function. So these three, price of the commodity, price of the competitive product, disposable income, these are the factors of demand, but price of factor of production. This is the factor of supply. So the answer? Price of factor of production. This question asks demand function except. So these three are the factors of demand, but the fourth one is the factor of. So production creates utility in which form? So this means nothing but raw materials, labor, these all factors of production will convert into a finished goods. This is nothing but it creates farm utility. The law of variable proportion has dash stages. How many stages? What are those? LVP, increasing returns, diminishing returns, so the law of variable proportion has 3 stages. The first stage is law of increasing returns, law of diminishing returns, and the law of negative marginal returns. The law of variable proportions was developed by Professor Alfred Marshall. Production function explains the relationship between physical inputs and physical outputs of a firm for a given state of technology or cost. Technology, because in production function dash is constant, technology will be always constant. Cost may be changed due to the increase of factors of production or something, but the technology have to be remain constant. Dash is a free gift of nature. Answer? Which factor of production is considered as produced means of production? Produced means of production, that means the resource to production. If you want to produce a product, what you require? Labor, raw material, all these things will bring with the capital. Capital means nothing but the investment. So the answer? The law of proportion relates to dash. Long run, short run, very long run, very short run. What's the answer? Short run. The law of returns to scale operates in long run, because in the long run there will be always variable factors of production, but in short run we have both variable and fixed factors of production. If a firm doubles the inputs and the output is double as well, the firm is subjected to which returns to scale? Constant or increasing or decreasing? Here the question is, when the inputs are doubled, the output is also double. That means the change is in equal proportion. That means nothing but constant returns. What is meant by increasing returns? If the output is more than the change of input, that is increasing. If the output is less than the change of input, decreasing. So here the input and output ratio changed in the same proportion, that is nothing but constant returns to scale. All the factors of production became variable in long run. Why? Because in long run we can change all the factors of production. So law of proportional variable will only focus on short run, and the law of returns to scale only focus on long run. Why does the law of increasing return operates? Increasing returns need to reach the right combination, correct or not? Full use of fixed indivisible factors. What is meant by law of returns? Changing all the factors of production in the fixed ratio or the same ratio. So full use of, here the factors are indivisible in the law of returns to scale, but in the law of variable proportions the factors are divisible. Some will be variable and some will be fixed. Law of variable proportion lo కొన్ని ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఫిక్స్డ్ ఉంటాయి, కొన్ని ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ వేరియబుల్ ఉంటాయి. సో మనం అవుట్పుట్ చేంజ్ చేయాలి అంటే ఏం చేస్తాం? వేరియబుల్ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ని చేంజ్ చేసి అవుట్పుట్ని చేంజ్ చేస్తాం. కానీ లా ఆఫ్ రిటర్న్స్ టు స్కేల్లో ఆల్ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఆర్ వేరియబుల్. మనం అన్ని ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొడక్షన్ని చేంజ్ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం చేంజ్ చేయాలి అంటే అన్ని ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ని సేమ్ ప్రపోర్షన్లో చేంజ్ చేయాలి, అవునా కదా? హియర్ ద ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఆర్ indivisible. Efficiency of variable factors. As we know, in returns to scale, all the factors will be variable, and we have to increase efficiency by increasing the factors of production in same proportion. So the answer is all of the internal economies and diseconomies arise due to. So we have two types. One is internal and an external. Internal only relates to changes at firm level. External means overall industry level changes. So the answer, change at firm level. Internal economies ante mana firm lo jarige changes. External economies or diseconomies means outside the firm, that is nothing but industry. So what is these economies means? Advantages. Internal economies means internal advantages, external economies means external advantages. Internal diseconomies means internal disadvantages, external diseconomies means external disadvantages. The labor surplus is the difference between the value of output and labor surplus. The value of material used. If I have used the material worth 50 rupees, here my output cost is 100 rupees. So who convert the raw material into output? Labor. So this is nothing but the price or the wage we have charged to the labor. So 50 plus 50, this is nothing but the cost. So the answer, labor surplus is the difference between the value of output and the value of material used. Clear? Up to here. So next we are moving to the theory of. Okay. Which of these costs will increase or decrease with the increase in production? Which cost? When we increase the production, starting marginal cost will, marginal cost curve is U-shaped. This means starting when you increase the production, marginal cost will reduce up to the some point. After some point, what will do? Increase. As you know, marginal cost curve is U-shaped. AFC curve. AFC curve. So this is MU curve, MC curve. AC curve also U shape only. AVC curve also, but the AFC curve, because by increasing the unit of output, what will happen to the fixed cost? Average fixed cost. That means fixed cost per unit will always decreases, keeps decreases. Clear? Which of the following statement is true about average cost function? Average total cost equals to average fixed cost plus. As we know, total cost consists of fixed costs and variable costs. So average total cost also consists of average fixed cost and average variable cost. So the answer is D. The demand for a product is 25 units when the price is 10. However, the demand rises to 25 when the price reduces to 9.9. So the marginal revenue from the product and the sale of additional unit from 25 to 26 is. What happened here? When the price reduced, the quantity demanded increases. Price reduced from rupees 10 to 9.9. Demand increased from 25 to 26. So what is the additional benefit? That is nothing but marginal revenue. Additional benefit. So when the price is 10, how many units are demanded? 25. That is nothing but 10 into 25, 250. So when the price is decreased to 9.9, what is the demanded? 26. So compare 9.9 into 26. 257.4. So by decreasing the price from 10 to 9.9, what is the marginal revenue? That is additional revenue we have gained. 257.4 minus 250. Here at starting, when the price is 10, the demand is 25. The total revenue is 250. When the price is 9.9, the demand is 26. That means 257.4. The difference between these is nothing but marginal revenue or additional revenue. So the answer is 7 point. Clear? In economics, in the long run, all the costs are variable. But in the short run, some costs are fixed and some costs are variable. Marginal cost curve is positively sloped, negatively sloped, parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis. Positively sloped. Will the MC cost curve will be negative? No. Because when we are increasing the production at start, MC curve will decrease and after some point it will start increase. Will it be negative? No. So the answer is positively slope. Which of these is not a factor of cost functions of a product? Size of the plant, output levels, price of the inputs. These are related to factor cost, but market price of the product. After completion of production, when we went to market, we will fix market price. So up to the production, what we will do? This is based on size of the plant, output level and price of inputs. అర్థమైందా? ఎప్పుడైతే మనం ప్రొడక్షన్ ప్లాన్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు ప్లాంట్ సైజ్ ఏంటి, అవుట్పుట్ లెవెల్ ఎంత, ఇన్పుట్స్ కాస్ట్ ఏంటి, దాన్ని బట్టి మనం ప్రొడక్షన్ అనేది ప్లాన్ చేసుకుంటాం. ఆఫ్టర్ కంప్లీషన్ ఆఫ్ ప్రొడక్షన్ జరిగాక మనం ఎప్పుడైతే సేల్ చేద్దామనే ఇంటెన్షన్తో ఉన్నామో అప్పుడు మనం మార్కెట్ ప్రైస్ అనేది ఫిక్స్ చేస్తాం. సో విచ్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఎ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఆఫ్ కాస్ట్ ఫంక్షన్? ఆన్సర్ మార్కెట్ ప్రైస్ ఆఫ్ the average dash and the output will have an inverse functional relationship. Average fixed cost. This means average fixed cost means fixed cost per unit. When the output increases, what will happen? Average fixed cost starts decreasing. Avuna kada? So the answer is fixed cost. Cost is also known as overhead cost. Which cost? Indirect cost. Overhead costs are nothing but indirect costs. Total cost is the aggregate of expenditure incurred by the firm producing a given level of output. True or not? True. Total cost is nothing but the aggregate of expenditure incurred by the firm. This is nothing but it consists of fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed cost plus variable cost is nothing but the total cost, that is the aggregate of expenditure spent by the firm. So the answer is cost is also known as which cost? Opportunity. What is meant by opportunity cost? This is the cost which we have sacrificed by choosing the best alternative, or the cost which we have sacrificed for the next best alternative. So opportunity cost is also known as Alternative cost or sacrificing cost. When the output is 0, the variable cost will be 0. True or not? But which cost will be not 0? Fixed cost. Here the answer is true. Dash remains constant even if production is stopped. Fixed cost. మనం ప్రొడక్షన్ చేసినా చేయకపోయినా ఫిక్స్డ్ కాస్ట్ అనేది ఎప్పుడు మనం ఇన్కర్ అవుతూనే ఉంటాం. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రెంట్. ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఇప్పుడు బీసీసీఏ ఉంది. బీసీసీఏలో మీకు ఇప్పుడు క్లాసులు రన్ అవుతున్నా లేకపోయినా, మీకు హాలిడేస్ ఉన్నా క్లాస్ ఉన్నా, ఈ బిల్డింగ్కి రెంట్ అనేది మేము పే చేస్తూ ఉంటాం, అవునా కాదా? సో దీస్ ఆర్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఫిక్స్డ్ కాస్ట్. వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ మీన్స్ బస్ ఫ్యూయల్ కాస్ట్. సో మీకు కాలేజ్ ఉంటేనే మేము బస్సు కాస్ట్ అనేది ఇన్కర్ అవుతాం, లేదంటే ఇన్కర్ కాము. సో మనం ప్రొడక్షన్ ఆపేస్తే ఫిక్స్డ్ కాస్ట్ 0 అవుతుంది, కానీ వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ 0 అవుతుంది. ఫిక్స్డ్ కాస్ట్ 0 అవుతుందా? సో విచ్ కాస్ట్ రిమైన్స్ కాన్స్టెంట్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ ద ప్రొడక్షన్ విల్ బి 0? Fixed. When the output is 0, fixed cost will also be 0. True or false? The total dash curve will be a horizontal line. Which cost? What is meant by the horizontal line? Parallel to x-axis, nothing but this. So fixed cost will be constant even this is production level 1, this is production level 2. For these two, fixed cost is same. Even the production increase to Q3, fixed cost will be same. That is nothing but parallel to x-axis or horizontal line. So the answer is fixed cost. As output increases, AFC of a firm, average fixed cost of a firm, will continuously decline. This means average fixed cost and the output have inverse relationship. When the output increases, what will happen to average fixed cost? It will decrease. Opportunity cost is measured in terms of the next best alternative that has been foregone. That is nothing but the cost we have sacrificed. Marginal cost is defined as change in the total cost due to 1 unit change in the output, change in the total cost due to 1 unit change in the input, the relation of total cost and the total output, the relation of total cost to total input. So marginal cost means when the output increased or decreased, marginal cost will be changed. So it is related to output, not input. So the answer is it is the change in total cost due to 1 unit change in output. Marginal cost nothing but additional cost. When we increase 1 unit of output, what is the extra cost we have incurred for producing the additional output? That is nothing but marginal cost or additional cost. So the answer, the change in total cost due to 1 unit change in the output. The firm has variable cost of 1000 at 5 units of output. If the fixed cost are 400, what will be the total cost? Answer? Here the variable cost is rupees 1000. For 5 units it will be, and fixed cost is same irrelevant of the output. So what is the fixed cost here? 400. So the total cost will be 5400. So the option is B. Shutdown situation for a firm comes when price is less than the average, because we will incur fixed cost even if we do production or there is no production in the firm. మనం ప్రొడక్షన్ ఇన్కర్ అయినా ఇన్కర్ కాకపోయినా ఫిక్స్డ్ కాస్ట్ అనేది ఏమవుతుంది, ఎప్పుడు మనకి ఇన్కర్ అవుతూనే ఉంటుంది, అవునా కాదా? కానీ వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ మనం ప్రొడక్షన్ చేస్తుంటేనే వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ అనేది ఇన్కర్ అవుతుంది. సో కనీసం మనం వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్ని కూడా రికవర్ చేయకపోతే మనం బిజినెస్లో దాన్ని ఏమంటాం, సస్టైన్ అవ్వగలమా? సో షట్ డౌన్ సిచ్యువేషన్ అరైవ్స్ వెన్ ప్రైజ్ ఈజ్ లెస్ దాన్ యావరేజ్ వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్. డాష్ కాస్ట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో నోన్ యాజ్ వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్. Dash cost, which cost? Product. Why? Because variable cost changes with the production level. So that is nothing but product cost is nothing but the variable cost. If the production increases, variable cost increases, but fixed cost will remain constant or same. Cost is dash cost is irrelevant with regard to the future business decision. Is production cost relevant to the future decision? Fixed cost, variable cost, these are relevant to the future decisions. మనం ఫ్యూచర్లో డెసిషన్ తీసుకోవాలంటే ఇప్పుడు కాస్ట్ దేని మీద బేస్ అయిందో తెలియాలి కదా. ప్రోడక్ట్ కాస్ట్, ఫిక్స్డ్ కాస్ట్, వేరియబుల్ కాస్ట్, ఈ మూడు మనం కన్సిడర్ చేస్తాం. సంక్ కాస్ట్ అంటే ఏంటి? The cost which cannot be recoverable. We have incurred that cost but it cannot be recovered. That is nothing but sunk cost. So sunk cost is irrelevant with regarding to the future business decisions. Due to the operation of law of returns to scale, LAC curve is U-shaped. So LAC curve means the summation of SAC curves. It is tangent to the lowest points of SAC curves. So LAC curve is also U-shaped. Clear? Economic costs comprise of explicit cost, implicit cost, normal profits. So answer, explicit costs are also known as accounting costs. Explicit costs also known as normal profit means the profits which is required for a firm to sustain in the operations. Clear? Up to here clear? Okay. So next we are moving to the concept forms of market. For the perfectly competitive firm, profit maximizing level of output is where what is the two conditions for a perfectly competitive firm to get maximum production? MC equals to where marginal revenue equals to marginal cost, and MC curve should cut the MR curve from. So from here what is the answer? MC equals to MR, or that is marginal revenue equals to marginal cost. So next one, decrease in demand that results in the economic losses in perfectly competitive industry will. పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ కాంపిటేటివ్ మార్కెట్లో లాసెస్ వస్తే జనరల్గా సప్లయర్స్ ఏం చేస్తారు? ఇన్ జనరల్లీ పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ కాంపిటేటివ్ మార్కెట్లో మనకి 3 టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ ఉంటాయి షార్ట్ రన్లో. సూపర్ నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ ఆర్ అబ్నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్, నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ అండ్ లాసెస్. సో ఇప్పుడు లాసెస్ వచ్చాయి ఫామ్లో అంటే సప్లయర్స్ ఏ విధంగా ఆలోచిస్తారు? సో కరెంట్ మార్కెట్ సిచ్యువేషన్ బాగాలేదు, లాసెస్ వస్తున్నాయి కాబట్టి ఫ్రీ ఎంట్రీ అండ్ ఫ్రీ ఎగ్జిట్స్ కదా. పర్ఫెక్ట్ కాంపిటీషన్ మార్కెట్ అండ్ మోనోపోలిస్టిక్ కాంపిటీషన్ మార్కెట్లో కూడా ఎంట్రీ అండ్ ఎగ్జిట్ ఆర్ ఫ్రీ. సో వాట్ విల్ దే థింక్? దే విల్ ఎగ్జిట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఇండస్ట్రీ, దట్ ఈస్ encourage exit from the industry. A market is defined as perfectly contestable if that is nothing but perfectly competitive market. In perfectly competitive market, both entry and exit are free. So that is nothing but entry to it and exit from it both costless. That is nothing but free entry and free exit. A firm that makes profits in excess of normal profits earning more than normal profits means nothing but supernormal or abnormal profits. So the answer D. A competitive firm maximizes its profits when if the firm wants to maximize profit, production should be maximum. When will be the production should be maximum? Where MC equals to MR and MC curve should cut the MR from below. So the answer is MR equals to MC. Which of the following are the characteristics of a monopolistic market? So what is meant by monopolistic market? There will be many sellers in the monopolistic market. Single seller means monopoly. Monopoly is different from monopolistic competition. In monopolistic competition, there will be many sellers and products are different and free entry and free exit. So the answer is all of the. Okay. The market states state that satisfies all the essential features of the perfect competitive market except identity of a product is known as. Identity of the product means nothing but in perfectly competition there will be single product at the same price. But in monopolistic market the product is different and the price is different. So that is nothing but the identity of the product. So perfect competition market ki monopolistic competition market ki difference ekkada exist avutundi only in identity of the product. So the answer is monopolistic competition. Perfectly competitive lo monopolistic competition lo రెండింటిలోని many sellers ఉంటారు, free entry and free exit. So but differentiation అనేది ఎక్కడ arise అవుతుంది only in product identification. A monopoly firm makes more profit because it has ability to choose among price and output combination. So in monopoly, who is the price maker? Nothing but the firm itself. Single firm is the price maker. If it wants to decrease the price and increase the demand, it can. If it wants to increase the price and decrease the demand, it can. So it has the ability to choose the price and output combination to earn maximum profits. So the answer is, so monopoly market lo price firm price ని డిటర్మైన్ చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి ప్రైస్ తగ్గించి డిమాండ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేయొచ్చు, లేదంటే ప్రైస్ని పెంచి డిమాండ్ని తగ్గించుకొని ఏ విధంగా దానికి ప్రాఫిట్ అయితే ఎక్కువ వస్తుందో అలా ప్లాన్ చేసుకోగలదు. కానీ పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ కాంపిటీషన్లో అలా ప్లాన్ చేసుకోగలదా? ఎందుకంటే అక్కడ సింగిల్ ఫామ్ ఉంటుంది, అందరూ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం ప్రైస్నే ఫాలో అవుతారు. దట్ ఈక్విలిబ్రియం ప్రైస్ విల్ బి సెటప్ బై ఇండస్ట్రీ ఆర్ మార్కెట్, దట్ విల్ బి ఫాలోడ్ బై firm. So in perfectly competition market, who is the price maker? Industry. Who is the price taker? Firm. Demand of an oligopoly firm is characterized by kink. What is meant by kink? Kink is nothing but bend. So this bend is nothing but kink. So before above the P, what is the elasticity? Relatively elastic. Below the P, inelastic. So kink only exists in oligopoly market. So the answer is B. Entry of the new firm is absolutely not free under monopolistic competition. Is that correct? Not possible under monopoly. Correct only. Free under monopoly. No. Because there is only single seller. There is no chance for entering another firm. Restricted under perfect competition. False. Because in perfectly competition, there will be free entry and free exit. So the answer is not possible under monopoly. Which of the following industries follow the perfect competitive model? What is meant by perfectly competitive model? All are having the same price, that is nothing but equilibrium price. Or the producers are producing the same unit. So here in automobile, cigarette, newspapers, we know the producers will be few. These all will be covered under oligopoly, but this will be covered under perfect competition. Generally, wheat farming is not a perfect competition because the perfect competition situation will not exist in the real economy. But when we compare, these three will be covered under oligopoly and wheat farming. In India, when we compare, reality is wheat farming prices will be same across India. అవునా కదా? నార్మల్గా వీట్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తే వీట్ మార్కెట్లో ఆల్ ఇండియాలో సేమ్ ప్రైజెస్ ఉంటాయి కదా, లేదంటే ఒక చోట ఒకలాగా ఇంకో చోట ఇంకొకలా ఉంటాయా? సో ఆటోమొబైల్, సిగరెట్స్, న్యూస్ పేపర్స్, దీనికి ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్ ఏ విధంగా ఉంటారు? మెనీ ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్ ఉంటారా? కాదు. సింగిల్ ప్రొడ్యూసర్ ఉంటారా? కాదు. 2 ప్రొడ్యూసర్స్ ఉంటారా? కాదు. సో ఇక్కడ పర్ఫెక్ట్ కాంపిటీషన్ కాదు, మోనోపోలిస్టిక్ కాదు, డియోపోలీ కాదు, మోనోపోలీ కాదు. దీస్ విల్ బి కవర్డ్ అండర్ oligopoly. Clear? Supernormal profits occur when average revenue is more than normal profits. Average revenue equals to, so supernormal profits condition is average revenue should be more than average cost. Normal profits where losses where, so these are the conditions for supernormal profits, normal profits and losses. Clear? In a competitive market, who is the price maker? Industry is the price maker and the firm is the price taker. In the short run, an oligopolistic firm will, in the short run, it may earn profits. 14, okay. Which of the following is not an essential feature of market? Buyers, sellers, commodity. These are the essential features of market. Building with loading facilities, that means building having transport facilities. Is it necessary for a market? Is it essential for a market? But buyers, sellers, commodity, these 3 things are essential for the market. So the answer is building with loading facilities. In the short run, an oligopolistic firm will, it can make profits, it may incur losses, or it may just break even. Break even is nothing but normal profits, where average revenue equals to average cost, that means no profit and no loss. So the answer, any of these 3 are possible. Any one of the thing can happen. Oligopoly market is known for price flexibility, price rigidity, price discrimination. Price rigidity. Why? ప్రైస్ రిజిడిటీ అంటే ఏంటి? ప్రైస్ అనేది కాన్స్టెంట్ లేదా ఫిక్స్డ్గా ఉండడం. సో ఒలిగోపోలీలో ఫ్యూ సెల్లర్స్ ఉంటారు కదా, అందరూ సేమ్ ప్రైస్ని మెయింటైన్ చేస్తారు. ఒకవేళ ఎవరైనా ప్రైస్ని ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? కన్జ్యూమర్స్ అందరూ వేరే వాళ్ళ దగ్గర పర్చేస్ చేస్తారు, వీళ్ళకి లాసెస్ వస్తాయి. ప్రైస్ డిక్రీజ్ చేస్తే మనతో పాటు వేరే సప్లయర్స్ కూడా డిక్రీజ్ చేస్తారు. ఎందుకంటే మనం ప్రైస్ డిక్రీజ్ చేస్తామంటే కన్జ్యూమర్స్ అందరూ మన దగ్గరే పర్చేస్ చేస్తారు కాబట్టి మనతో పాటు వాళ్ళు కూడా ప్రైస్ డిక్రీజ్ చేస్తారు. సో ప్రైస్ డిక్రీజ్ చేయడం వల్ల ప్రాఫిట్స్ తగ్గుతాయి కాబట్టి మ్యాక్సిమం ప్రైస్ డిక్రీజ్ చేయరు. ప్రైస్ ఎందుకు ఇంక్రీజ్ చేయరు? ప్రైస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేయడం వల్ల లాసెస్ వస్తాయి. మన దగ్గర ఎవరు పర్చేస్ చేయరు, అందరూ వేరే వాళ్ళ దగ్గర పర్చేస్ చేస్తారు కదా. సో ఇన్ ఒలిగోపోలీ మార్కెట్ ద ప్రైస్ విల్ బీ రిజిడ్, దట్ మీన్స్ ఫిక్స్డ్ ఆర్ కాన్స్టెంట్. Differential pricing is a form of. What is meant by differential pricing? This is nothing but charging different prices for different customers. That is nothing but price discrimination. Price discrimination only will be in monopoly market. Dash refers to a market in which there are few sellers. Oligopoly. So in perfect market, perfectly competitive market, there will be many sellers. Monopoly, single seller. Imperfect market means these will be monopoly, oligopoly, duopoly will be covered under imperfect. Oligopoly means in the market situation where there will be few sellers. In a perfect competition, the products sold by the seller are heterogeneous. False. The products sold by the seller is homogeneous, that is same product. Heterogeneous means different product, that is the future of monopolistic competition. So the answer, on the basis of competition the markets are classified into perfect competition and imperfect competition. So the answer, dash means absence of competition. In monopoly, single seller, due to the single seller there will be no competition in the monopoly. So the answer A. On the basis of time element, markets can be divided into three types. What are the three types of markets based on time elements? Very short term and in very short term the supply cannot be changed or fixed. In the short run it can be changed slightly, and in the long run it can be easily changed, because in long run the production process will be more and the time will be more. We can change all the factors of production. Clear? The concept of monopolistic competition was introduced by Professor Chamberlain. True or false? True. Dash refers to the quantity of a commodity which a firm is willing to produce and offers for sale. Individual, because in this question which a firm, single firm is willing to produce, so that is nothing but individual supply. Is it market supply? No. When a group of firms is willing to produce means it will be market supply. Individual demand means which a firm is willing to purchase, not produce. Market demand means group of firms are willing to purchase. So here the answer is individual supply. On the basis of area, markets are classified into three types. What are those? Local markets, national markets and international markets. Which of the following does not characterize monopolistic competition? Absence of price for selling the same commodity at different selling prices is known as differential pricing or price discrimination. Differential pricing or price discrimination only will be available in monopoly market. In a perfect competition, a firm earns supernormal profits when the AR of the firm, the AC of the firm dash. Supernormal profits only will be there when AR is greater than AC. That means AR of the firm should exceed the AC of the firm. So the answer is B, exceeds. Dash refers to the market situation where there is one seller and there is no close substitute to the commodity sold by the seller. Answer? In monopoly, there will be only one seller and there will be no close substitute for the product that was produced by the single seller. Dash is the center of all market policies. Product. Why not price? Why? For a market, the product is the first essential thing. So after the product existence, we'll sell the product. So after the selling intention, we'll fix the price for the product. So only if the product is existed, the price will come into force. So the answer? In the long run, a perfect competition earns normal profits only. But in short run, super normal profits. Short run low, super normal profits, normal profits, losses. ఈ 3 types of profits అనేది ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అయి ఉంటాయి. ఎప్పుడైతే షార్ట్ రన్లో సూపర్ నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ వచ్చాయో సెల్లర్స్ ఏమనుకుంటారు, మార్కెట్లో ప్రాఫిట్స్ ఎక్కువ వచ్చాయి, సో కాంపిటీషన్ అనేది పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ కాంపిటీషన్లో ఫ్రీ ఎంట్రీ అండ్ ఫ్రీ ఎగ్జిస్ట్. సో ప్రాఫిట్స్ వస్తున్నాయి కాబట్టి ఏం జరుగుతుంది, న్యూ ఎంట్రన్స్ వస్తారు, కొత్తగా సెల్లర్స్ వస్తారు. సో అప్పుడు సప్లై ఏమవుతుంది, ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. డిమాండ్ ముందే ఎంత ఉందో అంతే కాన్స్టెంట్గా ఉంటుంది కదా. సో సప్లై ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వడం వల్ల డిమాండ్ కన్నా సప్లై ఇంక్రీజ్ అయితే ప్రాఫిట్స్ తగ్గిపోతాయి, అవునా కదా. ఎందుకంటే డిమాండ్తో ఈక్వల్గా సప్లై అనేది కన్జ్యూమ్ అవుతుంది, ఇంకా సప్లై అనేది ఎకానమీలో ఉండిపోతుంది. అర్థమైందా? సో దానివల్ల ఫ్యూచర్లో ఏమవుతాయి, సూపర్ నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ కాస్త నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ అవుతాయి. సో షార్ట్ టర్మ్లో నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ వచ్చాయంటే సెల్లర్స్ ఏం చేస్తారు, వాళ్ళ ఇంటెన్షన్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, జస్ట్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ వస్తున్నాయి, దట్ ఈస్ కాస్ట్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు రెవెన్యూ. సో న్యూ ఎంట్రెంట్స్ వస్తారా, రారు. ఉన్న ఎంట్రెంట్స్ ఏమన్నా అదే ఇప్పుడున్న సెల్లర్స్ ఏమైనా వెళ్తారా, వెళ్ళరు. సో లాంగ్ రన్లో కూడా నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్సే వస్తాయి. ఇఫ్ దేర్ ఆర్ లాసెస్ ఇన్ ద షార్ట్ రన్, వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్, ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ సప్లయర్ విల్ గో అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ద మార్కెట్ బికాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫ్రీ టు ఎగ్జిస్ట్. సో అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, సప్లై తగ్గుతుంది, డిమాండ్ అనేది కాన్స్టెంట్గా ఉంటుంది. సో డిమాండ్ కన్నా సప్లై తక్కువ ఉంది అంటే అన్ని ప్రోడక్ట్స్ సెల్ అవుతాయి. ఇప్పుడు వరకు లాసెస్ ఉంటే అది ఏమవుతుంది, నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ కింద కన్వర్ట్ అవుతుంది. సో షార్ట్ రన్లో మనకి సూపర్ నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ వచ్చినా, నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ వచ్చినా, లాసెస్ వచ్చినా, అది లాంగ్ రన్లో కన్వర్ట్ అయ్యేటప్పటికి ఓన్లీ నార్మల్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ మాత్రమే వస్తున్నాయి. క్లియర్? ఒలిగోపోలీ మీన్స్ few sellers. Duopoly means 2 sellers. Monopoly, single seller. Perfectly competition and monopolistic competition, many sellers. Penetrating pricing is adopted by following A. What is meant by penetrating pricing? సో స్టార్టింగ్లో మార్కెట్లో ఏదైనా కొత్త ప్రోడక్ట్ని తీసుకొచ్చినప్పుడు లో ప్రైజెస్ కంపేర్ టు అదర్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్, ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్కే ఉంటుంది లో ప్రైజ్ ఉంటుంది. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారు, కన్జ్యూమర్స్ ఈ ప్రైస్కి అలవాటు పడతారు, ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్కి అలవాటు పడతారు. ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్కి అలవాటు పడ్డాక ప్రైజ్ ఏమవుతుంది, ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తారు. ఒకసారి కన్జ్యూమర్ దీనికి హ్యాబిట్ అయ్యాడు అంటే అది ప్రైజ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినా ఏం చేస్తాడు, పర్చేస్ చేస్తాడు. సో దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ పెనిట్రేటింగ్ ప్రైజింగ్. సో పెనిట్రేషన్ ప్రైజింగ్ ఈజ్ అడాప్టెడ్ బై ఫాలోయింగ్ ఏ low price. On the basis of time, markets are divided into 2 types, true or false. On the basis of time, markets are divided into 3 types. Which is the first order condition for the profit for a firm to be maximum? So there will be 2 conditions, first condition and second condition. First condition is MC equals to MR. Second condition, MC curve should cut the MR from below. So in perfect competition, P equals to MR equals to AR equals to D. Correct or not? Correct only. What is the shape of MC curve? U shape. So here there are two possibilities. But what is the second condition? At these 2 points, MC equals to MR. But what is our second condition? MC curve should cut the MR curve from below. So here the production will be maximum and the profit will be maximum. Clear? The AR and the industry demand curve is identical in case of perfect AR and industry demand curve is identical. This is nothing but AR equals to D. Clear? So the answer is in case of perfect competition. Average revenue curve under perfect competition is vertical straight line. True or false? It is horizontal straight line that is parallel to x-axis. It is not vertical straight line. So the answer is which of the following is a feature of perfect competition? Homogeneous product is a feature of perfect competition. Selling cost. Selling cost means advertisement cost. Is advertisement required in perfect competition? No, because all are selling the same commodity. Next, group behavior. Group behavior means having a relationship between two firms. Group behavior only will be exist in oligopoly market. As there are few firms in the industry, they have to communicate to each other regarding the prices or something else. So differentiated price means nothing but price discrimination. It is available in only monopoly market. So here the future of perfect competition is homogeneous. In case of perfectly competitive firm, the demand curve of the product is perfectly, that is nothing but parallel to x-axis or horizontal line, where ED equals to infinite. So the answer? Perfectly elastic. There is no close substitute in case of there is no close substitute in case of monopoly. There will be no substitute. There exists no clear distinction between the firm and industry in the monopoly. True or false? True, because in the monopoly the firm is nothing but the industry. As there is a single seller, he is the industry and he is the firm. So he can decide at what price he have to sell, what is the profit he have to earn on the basis of price and output combination. So the answer is true. So next MCQ is, which one of the following is a characteristic of perfect competitive market? Homogeneous. Price discrimination is a characteristic of monopoly. One seller, monopoly. Advertisement, oligopoly and monopolistic competition. So the answer is homogeneous product. Interdependence among the firm is an important feature of. Interdependence is a main feature of oligopoly. If there are only two firms, the market is said to be duo. If there are few firms, the market is said to be. If there is only one firm, which of the following forms of market structure has no control for the price of the product? Which of the following forms of market structure has no control for the price of the product. No control means no control in the hands of firm. Perfect competition. In perfect competition, who is the price maker? And the price taker is firm. So the answer? Under no profit, no loss situation in a perfect competition, the firm earns only normal profit. So no profit, no loss means break even point where average revenue equals to average cost, that is nothing but normal profit. Dash is a market situation where there are few sellers producing comparable products. Nothing but oligopoly, because few sellers and comparable products. The essential features of market are sellers, buyers, price, all of the above. The above three are very important features of market. So the answer is all of the above. Electricity supply service in a fixed area is an example of monopoly. Okay. Which of the following is associated with monopolistic competition market? Product differentiation. Single buyer is a characteristic of single buyer. Single seller is a characteristic of monopoly. Single buyer means in any economy there will be many buyers. There will be no single buyer. Next one, homogeneous product. Where we see homogeneous product? Perfect competition. Few firms, oligopoly. So the answer is product differentiation is associated with monopolistic competitive market. When MC equals to MR, the firm will get. So the answer is maximum profits. Okay. So if the firm wants to have maximum profits, what are the conditions to be satisfied? MC equals to MR and MC curve cuts the MR curve from below. So the answer is maximum. The demand curve monopoly is the same as average revenue curve. Not only monopoly, monopolistic also, perfectly competition also. Demand curve is nothing but AR curve. So next, price rigidity is a feature of which market? Oligopoly market. Average revenue can also known as demand. Now only we have discussed what? In perfectly competition or monopolistic competition, monopoly, average revenue curve is nothing but the demand curve. In the short run, if the price is among the average total cost in a monopolistic competition market, the firm makes price is above the average total cost. That means average revenue is more than average cost. So the firm makes profits. Where AR greater than AC, the firm earns profit. So in monopolistic market, free entry and free exit. Because of profits are coming, what will producers think? To join in the market, and new entrants will come into the market. So the answer, profits and new firms join the market. Imperfect market is classified into dash types. 4 types. What are those? Monopoly, duopoly, oligopoly, monopolistic competition. In the dash, seller is the price maker. Answer? Monopoly. The kinked demand curve model of oligopoly was developed by. Answer? Paul A. Squeezy. In dash market, the firm has no definite demand curve. No definite demand curve. In perfectly market, the demand curve is perfectly elastic, that is horizontal or parallel to x-axis. In monopoly and monopolistic, In monopoly and monopoly, the demand curve is equals to AR curve. But in oligopoly, there is a kinked demand curve. That means there is no perfect demand. Up above the point P, the demand will be elastic. Below the point P, the demand will be inelastic. So there is no definite demand. So the answer, oligopoly. So next one. Price discrimination under monopoly is depend on. So in monopoly we have 3 degrees of price discrimination. First one is based on, one second the material. First one is based on the capacity of the buyer. Next one is based on the quantity of the output. Third one is based on price elasticity of demand or sub-markets. Okay? So, is there anything related to size of the market that determines price discrimination? No. Only on the basis of price elasticity on demand or sub-markets or quantity or paying capacity of the consumer. So, the answer is price elasticity of demand. Firm A in a monopolistic market. Firm in a monopolistic market are price maker. Industry, price. Firm in a monopolistic market are price maker. Okay. The goal of all firms in perfect competitive is dash maximization. Profit maximization. No one wants to maximize the cost, because when they want to maximize the cost, what will happen? Losses will come, no profits will arrive to the firm. No one want to maximize the cost. All the sellers want to maximize profit. Under perfect competition demand curve, AR and MR are the same. Price, AR curve, MR curve and demand curve, all are nothing but horizontal line or parallel to x-axis. So the answer, in perfect competition, every firm is a price maker and not a price taker. True or false? Why? In perfect competition, industry is the price maker and the firm is price taker. So the answer, under perfect competition, a firm will be in equilibrium when? So we have to satisfy two conditions, MC equals to MR and MC curve should cut the MR from below. So when these two conditions are satisfying, MC is rising when it cuts the MR. So these three are facts only. So the answer is all of the above. In the short run, the firm in monopolistic competition, in the short run, it may earn supernormal profits or normal profits or losses. But in the long run, either in perfect competition or monopolistic competition, the firm only earns normal profits. So the answer, may earn normal profits, supernormal profits or incur losses. The market state that satisfy all the essential features of perfect competition market except identity of product is known as monopolistic competition. The main difference between perfect competition and monopolistic competition is product differentiation, that is nothing but identity of the product. In a competitive market, dash is the price maker. What is meant by competition? Competitive market. Perfect competition or monopolistic competition? Perfect competition. So in perfect competition market, industry is the, and who is the price taker? Firm. So the answer, industry. OPEC is an example of cartel, oligopoly. What is meant by cartel? It is a group or association that is established for solving the problems in oligopoly market. That means where there are few sellers. కార్టెల్ అంటే ఏంటి? మార్కెట్లో ఫ్యూ సెల్లర్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆ ఫ్యూ సెల్లర్స్ అందరూ కలిసి ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్ లేదంటే ఒక ప్లేస్ని రెడీ చేసుకుంటారు, ఒక ఆఫీస్ లాగా. So next one, Indian Railway is an example of monopoly. This is the perfect example for a monopoly. So what is the next chapter we are heading to? Economic and business environment. Business environment consists of which elements? Internal and external. And again in external, macro business environment, micro business environment. So here the answer is both internal and external. Micro environment concerned with, macro environment concerned with major issues and upcoming challenges in the environment. Is it true or false? True or false? So the answer, which of the following factor is not included in the micro environment? Not involved in micro environment. That means technology is involved in macro environment. Dash is not a part of external environment analysis. Studying the political environment, it is external environment. Analysis available technologies, that too external environment only. Analysis social, culture, demographic and geographic forces, this thing also related to external environment only. But analyzing financial ratio, this is the issue of the firm internally. This is covered under internal business environment. Which of the following is a part of internal environmental scanning? That is internal business environment. First one, political environment, that was related to external business environment. Customer preferences, that too external environment only. Law and order, that's also external. Chain of command, that means the way we command our management, that is internal function. Commanding the management is external function or internal function? Internal function. So it is based on internal business environment. Generally, the main reason behind starting a business is earning profits. It is the main motto of every businessman to start a business. Key goal in the firm's growth phase is expansion of sales. You may get a doubt, why not expansion of profit? If sales are expanded, automatically profits will be expanded. So the answer is extension of sales. Competitors are part of internal business or external business environment? External business environment, that too in micro business environment. An activity which is related to the continuous and regular production and distribution of goods and services for a motive of earning profits and satisfying human wants is called business. Business means producing the goods for a motive for selling them for a profit. Observing business environmental changes on a continuous basis, ascertain the future value is called forecasting. What is meant by forecasting? Observing environmental changes for estimating future value, that is nothing but forecasting. In a business environment, which one of the following is not a political factor? tax policy, it is a political factor. Employment laws, political factor. Environment regulations, political factors. Exchange rate, exchange rate is related to financial or economical environment. It is not related to political factor. So the answer is exchange rate. The following is not a feature of business environment. Business environment is dynamic. That means it is large for understanding. Next, uncertainty. Uncertainty means we cannot expect what will happen in the business. We may get profits or losses. Business is uncertain. Scanning. Scanning means nothing but forecasting, analyzing. These all are things. So answer is image building. Image building means creating reputation or goodwill. So the answer, image building. Which one of them is an objective of business that goes beyond earning profits? Beyond earning profits. Profits ni earn cheyadam kanna inkem untundi oka business man scope. An important institution in society. Ante society lo oka important place lo undali. Next one, creating job opportunities. Nothing but creating employment. Offering better of life. That means giving quality goods, customer satisfaction. So answer is all of the above. So these all three things are beyond the motive of earning profits. Which one of the following is true statement about business environment? True statement. Business environment is dynamic and is changing constantly. True or false? The economic theory of supply and demand fully explains the business environment. True or false? Only by learning theory of supply and demand we can analyze any business environment? No. Only that is related to internal, but external, political, economical, financial. We have to learn all these things to scan or forecast the business environment. So it is false statement. Business environment can be fully controlled by an individual firm. Can an individual firm control business environment? No. Who controls business environment? All the firms in the economy, nothing but industry. Okay? So it is also a false statement. It is very easy to predict future happening in the business environment. False. So answer, business environment is dynamic and is changing constantly. Advertising of alcohol beverages is banned by many countries in the world. These can be explained as an influence of. Okay. Banning means stopping the activity. That means implying new rules and regulations. So the answer, legal environment. Business environment includes specific and general forces. Which of the following is one of the specific forces of business environment? So what is specific and what is general forces? Specific forces means nothing but microeconomics business environment. General forces, macroeconomic business environment. So can we control macroeconomic business environment? No. Can we control micro? Up to a certain level. So the answer, which is not one of the specific forces, that means which is not micro business environment. Customer, supplier, investors, these are covered under micro business environment. Technological conditions covered under macro business environment. So the answer is technological conditions. Business environment includes both specific and general forces. Which of the following is not one of the general forces? That means which one of these is not macro business environment thing? Political environment covers under macro business environment. Social environment. covers under macro business environment. Investors covered under micro business environment. Technological environment, macro. So the answer, investors. So consider the following statements. Business environment is a sum of all things internal to the firm. Is that true? Is that true? Why? Business environment is a total sum of the things internally and externally. So the statement is false. Force shaping the business environment are independent and unchanging in nature. So business environment is easy to grasp in total. This statement is exactly opposite to the statement that business environment is dynamic. Clear? So it is true or false? False, because we cannot easily grasp the business environment, and business environment is independent and changing in nature. Dependent and changing in nature. So the answer is both 1 and 2 are false. When shopping in a retail store, a buyer pays a seller by e-cart. Impact of the following dimension of business environment can be seen under. So what is this? So when you went to retail store, what is the way of payment you have made? By e-wallet. E-wallet means either UPI or some electronic gadget apps. So that is nothing but technological development. Correct or wrong? So the answer is, it is technological environment. The new market created for fast food, packaged foods and multiplex in India is an example of which of the following environment? Why? Here the three things define standard of living of the people. First one poor, second one maybe middle class, third one is high class. So economic environment relates to income, standard of living, so all these things. So the answer is economic environment. Business environment is multidimensional with political and environment is one of the dimensions. Which of the following are principal determinants of political environment relevant to the business operating in India? So first one relates to inflation rates, disposable income. This is related to which environment? Economic environment. Next one, computerized information, product advertising on the world wide web, online ticket booking, e-commerce. These things related to technological environment. Popular festival, Diwali, Holi, Dasara, Christmas, Onam. These relates to socio-cultural environment. Sudden change in government attitudes of elected government representative towards business, peace and stability in the country. These things related to political. So this is connected to which environment? Political environment. So the next one, for a business firm, selling goods, decision areas of selecting for marketing intermediaries, managing levels of stock of goods, storage, transportation. These things related to, for promotion, we'll plan, what we'll plan for promotion? Advertising, digital marketing, like that we'll plan. But what are the things that given in the question? Storage, stock levels, marketing intermediaries. These are used to distribute the output. Clear? So the answer, physical distribution. Commercial advertising on Doordarshan television channels in India. No advertisement that promotes cigarettes and tobacco product is permitted. Which dimension of business environment related to this? Social environment. So because this is done because to promote the welfare of the people. So it is related to social environment. Which of the following is the only false statement about business environment? The only false statement. It is difficult to predict future happenings in the business environment. Is it true or false? True. Business environment is dynamic and constantly changing. True or false? Business environment is simple to understand. Is business environment is simple to understand? No, it is very vast, dynamic and uncertain in nature. So we cannot simply understand the business. Factors and forces in the business environment are beyond the control of business enterprise. That is external factors which a firm cannot control. So the answer, except this statement, all the three statements are true. For a business enterprise, household disposable income, household saving rate are the factors of economic environment. For a business firm, business environment includes both specific and general forces. Which of the following is an example of specific force? That is micro business environment related thing. So first one, demand for reservation and jobs for minorities and women. This is a nationwide issue. So it is covered under macro business environment. Next one, action taken by a firm, investor and owners. These all will be covered under micro business environment. Demonetization implemented by Reserve Bank of India. It is again macro. Government announcement of cut corporate taxes for all business. It is macro. So the answer is action taken by the firm, investor and owners. It is related to specific force. Which of the following is an example of impact of technological environment or business enterprise in India? Which thing is related to technological environment? First one, abrupt fall in Indian share prices caused by an unexpected Lok Sabha result. First one, it may be political or economical because share prices fall by unexpected Lok Sabha result. One is connected to political. How it is related to economical? Fall in the share prices, that means fall in the economy income. So it may be political or it may be economical. High demand for sweets, gifts during popular festivals in India. Socio-cultural. Next one, presence of large number of women in the workforce. Social. Payments through electronic payment wallets by retail India customers. This is technological environment issue. Indian domestic air travelers prefer to search for air connectivity between cities, check flight timings, destination and ticket fare through internet and book their tickets. This is an element of following dimension of business environment. Technological environment. So before the existence of internet, how the people are going to book their tickets? By physically going to the airports, or there will be some booking.coms in only internet websites or net shops, and the other thing is brokers. So due to the development of technology, now they are booking only in mobile also. Government of India announcement of corporate exit of all business firms in 2019 is an element of legal environment because it is restricted by the law. People's attitudes toward work, lifestyle, ethics is a part of socio-cultural environment. Internal banking has given customers of a bank the option to conduct a range for financial transactions to the bank internet website. It is an example of technological environment. So again, attitude towards lifestyles, consumer preferences, composition of family and consumption habits are the elements of social environment. In November 2016, the Reserve Bank of India demonetized rupees 500 and 1000 notes. Indian business firms experienced the impact of, here again two perspectives. One is it is enforced by law to ban the 500 and 1000 notes. That is related to legal environment. And due to the ban of 500 and 1000 notes, nation's economy may affect. So it is related to, but in our perspective, what we are thinking? Legal environment, because in the question, what he have given? Reserve Bank of India demonetized 500 and 1000 notes. So Indian business firms experience the impact of legal environment. If it is given as nation-wise, what is the nation experience means? Economic. So the answer? Legal environment. Which of the following is an example of impact of technological environment in India? First read all the four options. So first one, the statutory warning of cigarette smoking is injurious to health, printed on each pack of cigarette. This is related to social environment, sudden change in the government, political environment, trend forward health and fitness among the urban Indians, again social. So shift in booking of tickets of Indian Railways from over the counter to online modes. This statement shows the development due to technology. So the answer? C. The business environment includes both specific and general forces for an Indian domestic food business following a specific force. So which one is a specific force? First one, birth and death rates in India. Is it a microeconomic thing? Macro business environment, that means general force. Next one, Indian law enforcing green for every vegetable for the every vegetarian food and beverage. This means macro business environment, because whole India have to follow this. Next one, supplier of its raw material. This is related to specific force or microeconomic business environment. Per capita income in India. This is again macro business environment thing. So the answer is supplier of its raw material is a specific force. Porter's 5 forces model does not include. So what are the Porter 5 principles? Rival sellers, new entrants, substitute good, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of consumers or buyers. So bargaining power of employees does not include in Porter's 5 forces. Why we will learn Porter's 5 forces? To analyze the competition in the economy. Internal business environment include factors like internal business environment, capital structure, management structure, business philosophy. All these 3 things are related to internal business environment. So answer all of the above. The term pestle does not include population factor. P in the pestle is E, political, economical, social, technological, environmental and legal. So the answer, population factor. Demographic environment includes age structure, geographic distribution, distribution of income. All these 3 things include in demographic environment. The micro business environment does not include. The micro business environment does not include. Firms and consumers are the part of micro business environment. Market and the competitors are the part of micro business environment, but economy is a part of macro business environment. So the answer is economy. Don't blindly follow all of the above, both A and B, none of the above. Read the question carefully, understand it, and give the answer. SWOT analysis does not include opinions. In place of opinions, what it have to be? Opportunities. What is meant by SWOT analysis? So what is SWOT analysis? Maximizing strengths, minimizing weakness, and using the opportunities by avoiding the threats. So the answer is opinions. The micro business environment does not include technological environment, global environment, economic environment. All are the part of macro business environment. But marketing intermediaries is the part of micro business environment. The term pestle does not include employment factors. It includes political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and legal factors. Porter's 5 principle model does not include bargaining power of workers. The Porter's 5 forces are rival sellers, new entrants, substitute good, bargaining power of the seller, and bargaining power of the buyers. So next one, internal business environment does not include management structure, business philosophy, capital structure are the part of internal business environment. But the role of competitors is the part of external business environment, that too in micro business environment. So the answer, role of competitors dash environment is beyond the control of business. External environment, internal environment is the control of business. Dash does not form part of an organization's micro. Dash does not part of an organization's micro environment. Legal environment is the part of macro business environment. External environment has been classified into dash groups. What are those? Micro business environment and macro business environment. The term T in SWOT analysis stands for threat. The term S in pestle analysis stands for strength. Strength is the part of SWOT analysis. What is pestle? Political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and legal. SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So don't confuse. So answer is social. మనకి స్ట్రెంత్ కనిపించగానే స్ట్రెంత్ వచ్చేస్తుంది, డైరెక్ట్గా పెడతాం ఆన్సర్. Due to many reasons such as technological changes, shift in consumer preferences, entry of new competitors, and so on, the business environment keep continuously changing with the time. This property of business environment is known as dynamic in nature. So what it is? Dynamic in nature means changing in the business environment time to time. So it is related to dynamic nature, continuously changing, that is nothing but dynamic. Dash is not a dimension of VUCAFU, unpreparedness. What is VUCAFU? V means volatility, uncertainty. Next, Unpreparedness. So the answer, unpreparedness is not a dimension of VUCA FU. Technology, culture, demographics, etc. are the elements of macro environment. Dash factors affect the economy as a whole are not particular to any organization. That means economy as a whole but not individual form. So the answer, macro. Which of the following is an element of political environment? Political environment consists of legislature, judiciary and executive. So the answer is all of the above. Which one of the following is not true in relation to business environment? It is beyond the organization. It is true or false? Beyond the organization, it is true only because external business environment is not in the hands of business organization. We cannot control the external business environment. Next, it is a sum of internal and external control factors. True or false? It is dynamic in nature. That also true only. Organization can remain insensitive to the business environment. True or false? Because organization is sensitive to the business environment. It have to develop day by day as the business environment developing, or it have to change the things accordingly to the business environment. So the answer is business environment remain insensitive to the business environment is a false statement. Which of the following is not covered by the organizational internal environment? Human resources, that means management, labor, these all are controlled by the business. Next one, research and development department. It is within the organization, so the organization can control it. Management structure, it will be planned by the entrepreneur itself, so he can control the management structure. But media, can he control media? So the answer is media. Macro factors of business environment are generally as controllable as micro factors, not controllable like micro factors, more controllable than micro factors, none of the above. Not controllable like micro factors, because we can control micro business environment up to a certain extent, but can we control macro business environment? No, it is beyond the control of organization. So the answer, not controllable like micro factors. Hi guys. Now we are discussing the MCQs of money and banking. So the first one, if the public finds way of making the same amount of money perform a larger amount of transactions than before, what does that mean? People spending the same amount of money faster than before. That means the speeding spending money is increased. The speed is spending money increased means that is related to velocity. So here velocity must have risen. So narrow money refers to so M1 includes cash money and the balance in the bank account. M2, M1 plus short term deposits. M3, M2 plus short long term deposits. So which of the following is generally referred for broader economic management measure of money supply? M3. Which one? M3. M3. So next one, quantity theory of money explained by Fisher. Cash balance approach was given by. What is meant by cash balance approach? Cash balance is denoted by K. That means cash held by the customers without spending it. Nothing but savings. So that was given by Cambridge University professors. M1 is considered as the most important measure of money. True or false? True. PT equals to MV is the equation suggested by Fisher. What is the equation suggested by Cambridge University professors? M equals to PKT. So Fisher mainly highlights the velocity of money. Cambridge professors? Cash balance. And the Keynes? Bank rate. Clear? Gresham's law is true where? Both paper and metal currency operates. That means what he told? Bad money drives the good money out of the circulation. That means good money means valuable money. Bad money means cheap money. Here paper and metal, which is good money and which is bad money? Metal is the good money, that is valuable money. Paper is the cheap money. So this law only operates when there are two types of currencies. One is good and bad. Quantity theory of money states that price level is directly proportional to money supply. Price level is inversely proportional to money supply. Price level is not related to money supply. Price level is inversely related to money demand. So the answer? Price level is directly proportional to the money supply, because if money supply increases, the spending increases. Spending increases means demand increases. Demand, with the increase in demand, prices for the products also increases. So price level and money supply are directly proportional to each other. Next one. Price level and the value of money are inversely related. The money supply influences the rate of interest. If the money supply increases, the rate of interest will be decreased. It was explained by types of money can be divided into dash groups. How many groups? What are those? Commodity money, fiat money, fiduciary money, and commercial bank money. Medium of exchange is one of the among dash functions of money. Primary. In primary we have two functions: medium of exchange and measure of value. So the answer is primary. Cash money is created by Central Bank of India, that is RBI. So RBI creates the cash money. So the answer, Central Bank of India. Which of the following is or unsecured promissory notes? Certificate of deposit, is it secured or unsecured? Secured. Treasury bill, is it secured or unsecured? Commercial paper. Commercial paper means it is the document issued by the company when it takes funds from the public. So is it may be secured or unsecured. So the answer is commercial paper. What is the apex bank for agriculture credit in India? NABARD. What is the full form of NABARD? National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Capital market is controlled by? What is capital market? The market that includes stocks, debentures, all these things. Supply of money refers to the money that was held by public. Certificate of deposits is issued by the banks too. Certificates of deposits issued by the banks too. It may issue to companies, PSUs and individual. Whoever deposit in the bank, they will give Certificate of deposit. So the answer? All of the above. Commercial banks provide commercial loans against government securities, bonds, both A and B. What's the answer? Both A and B. So it may give loan against government securities, it may give loan against bonds. The Exports and Imports Bank of India is wholly owned by Government of India. In the Indian money market, who are the main borrowers of short-term funds? Central government, state government and local bodies. All are the main borrowers for the funds in Indian money market. So the answer? All of the above. Special drawing right is a special currency issued by IMF. What is the full form of IMF? International Monetary Fund. The IDA is affiliated to. What is IDA? International Development Association. It is affiliated to World Bank. The ICICI is a dash sector bank. Public or private? SBI? Public sector bank. The RBI was nationalized on 1949. RBI was established on 1935. Don't confuse. IFCI was established on 1948. What is meant by IFCI? Industrial Financial Corporation of India. Okay. Commercial bank creates money on the basis of cash deposits. Okay. Deficit financing means? What is that? What is deficit financing? When the public expenditure is more than the public income, what will government do? It may borrow funds from others or it may print new money. So to fill the gap between public expenditure and public revenue, what the government is doing? Deficit financing. So it includes both by borrowing and printing money. So the answer is both. Deflation is a state when prices are falling. Inflation is a state when prices are rising. When the government tries to bridge the gap between public expenditure and public revenue through deficit financing. Full employment exists when there is. Full employment means not zero unemployment. There will be unemployment in every economy. It may be in fractional. So there is natural rate of unemployment in every economy. Full employment exists when natural rate of unemployment is there. Which of these measures would not reduce natural rate of unemployment? Creating more jobs will reduce unemployment. Reducing the age of superannuation. Superannuation means retirement benefits. By reducing the age of retirement benefits, it will help to increase employment and decrease unemployment. Next, employment-oriented education system. By implementing employment-oriented education system, unemployment will reduce. But hike in the unemployment allowance will increase unemployment. So the answer is hike in the unemployment allowance. Money is what money does. This definition was given by Walker. Who? Walker. The dash states bad money drives good money out of the circulation. Gresham's law. When the price level increases, the value of money also increases. True or false? Generally, when the price level increases, the value of money decreases. There was the inverse relationship between price level and the value of money. Primary functions of money are of dash types. What are those? Medium of exchange and measure of value. The relationship between money supply and the price level is inverse or proportionate? Proportionate. If the money supply increases, income increases, consumption increases, demand increases, and the prices will increase. So the answer is proportional. Money supply mentions. What is money supply mentions? It is the money held with the public at a particular point of time or a period of time. Particular point of time, because money supply changes day by day. So we can't explain in the period of time. So it is particular point of time. So the answer, value of money held by the public at particular point of time. Which of the following is called primary function of money? Measure of value. And the other primary function is medium of exchange. Money market deals with the long-term credit or short-term credit? Only short-term credit. Short-term means the period within 1 year. Long run means the period more than 1 year. Which of the following affects the demand for money? Rate of interest affects the demand for money. Price level affects the demand for money. Real income also affects the price of demand for money. So the answer, all of the above. The RBI checks inflation by increasing the CR, increasing the bank rate. So what's the answer? Both A and B. What is CRR? Cash reserve ratio. That means the amount of money that is reserved with the bank without lending to loan. Increasing the bank rate. What happens if bank rate increases? The loans taken by the public will be reduced. So money supply reduces. Due to the money supply reduction, what will happen? Demand decreases and the prices will decrease. Clear? Money market includes bills of exchanges, treasury bills, government securities. All these three things are covered in money market. So the answer, all of the above. Money market is controlled by RBI. Because to control capital market, what we have? SEBI. Like that, we don't have to control any authority to control money market. So directly RBI controlling the money market. Manipulation in CRR enables the RBI to. Manipulation in CRR means changing the rate of CRR. What will the government do? It influences the lending ability of the commercial banks. How? By increasing the CRR, what will happen? The amount that will be reserved by the bank without lending loans decreases. So that means money supply will decrease. So demand decreases and prices. Okay. By decreasing CRR, the amount with the banks will be increases, money supply increases, consumption increases, demand increases, and the price rates increases. So it leads to inflation. First one leads to deflation. Clear? Monetary policy is formulated by RBI, that is the Central Bank of India. Constituents of money supply are rupee notes and coins with the public, credit card, traveler checks. This means money supply includes all these three things. So the answer, All of the above. During inflation, bank rate should be lowered or raised. What is meant by inflation? Rising in the prices of commodities. What should the government do? It have to reduce the prices. So to reduce the prices, it have to raise the interest rate. Due to the increasing in interest rate, the loans taken by the public will be decreased, money supply decreases. So with the decrease in money supply, demand decreases, and when demand decreases, prices also decreases. So during inflation, bank rate should be raised. Dash function of money makes it available for the future use. Answer? Store. Which of the following is near money? Bills of exchange is near money. That means it can be easily converted into cash and it is highly liquid. Saving bonds also highly liquid. Gilt securities also highly liquid. Gilt securities means the securities which give fixed income. Okay? So the answer? All of these. Which of these would lead to fall in demand for money? Fall in demand for money. Inflation. Inflation means rises in the prices of the commodities. So demand for money will be high. Increase in real income. When the real income increases, demand increases, prices increases. So again demand for money increases. Increase in wealth. By increasing wealth, consumer spending increases. So that's why demand increases and prices also increases. So increase in real rate of interest. What is real rate of interest? Real rate of interest means nothing but the bank interest. So by increasing bank interest, what will happen? Loans taken by the public will be decreased. So the demand for money will be decreases. So the answer? Increase in the real rate of interest. If the country is passing through recession, recession means deflation. Okay? The RBI would, what it will do? Buy bonds and securities, reduce CRR, ease out bank rate. Ease out bank rate means decreasing the bank rate. What will do? By buying bonds and securities, RBI will give money to the economy. So it will help to recover the economy. Next, reducing CRR. By reducing CRR, the loan giving availability of bank increases. So money supply increases. It will recover deflation to inflation. Next one, by decreasing the rate of interest, loans taken by the consumers will increase. So money supply increases and also it will helps the deflation to convert as inflation. So the answer, all of these. In call money, funds are borrowed of rent without any security for the period of. So generally it is 1 to 14 days. But here he gave 1 day, 14 days, both A and B. So the answer is both A and B. Cost push inflation rises due to. So what is cost pushed inflation? When the factors of production cost increases, due to the increase in the cost of production, what will happen? Prices for the output also increases. So it leads to inflation. So persist entries in the factor cost means increasing in the factor cost. Factor cost is nothing but increasing in the cost of production. So the answer is persist entries in factor cost. Now we are moving to the MCQs related to management. The first one is, who proposed bureaucratic structure is suitable for all organization? Who proposed? Max Weber proposed that bureaucratic structure is suitable for all organizations. Henry Fayol classified industrial activities into six groups. What are those? Technical, commercial, financial, security, accounting, and managerial. Dash is called as the father of management. Who is called as the father of management? Henry Fayol is called as the father of management. So next one, the concept of management by objectives was introduced by Peter F. Drucker. Under Fayol's 14 principles of management, which one of the following is related to esprit de corps? Esprit de corps means teamwork. What is meant by esprit de corps? Teamwork. Dash has been accepted as the father of scientific management. F.W. Taylor has been accepted as the father of scientific management. Father of principles of management is, yes, Fayol. Management is the art of managing customers? No. Making supernormal profits? No. Keeping competitors under pressure? No. So, management is the art of getting things done by the groups of people. So, the answer is D. Scientific management is concerned with. Is scientific management concerned with cooperation, not individualism? No. Increased population through long experience? No. Application of scientific principles to the management of production? Yes. Scientific management is concerned with application of scientific principles to the management of production. The elements of the management process are known as dash of the management. Functions. The elements of the management process are known as the functions of the management. Next one. Administrative function is the managerial function. So which one? Administration function relates to top level or middle level or lower level? Top level. Administration function relates to top level management. Okay. Dash forms the basis for the function of an organization. Strategies form the basis for functioning of an organization. Okay. Dash defines management as the process of getting things done by and through others. The answer is Fayol, not Hicks. Fayol defines management as the process of getting things done by and through others. Okay. Which one of the following is not included in scientific management technique? Division of labor? Yes, it is involved in scientific management technique. Scientific selection? It is also involved in scientific management techniques. Training and placement of workers? This is also included in scientific management technique. Hierarchical structure? Is it included in scientific management technique? No. It is included in bureaucratic structure. Okay. Next one. Scalar chain denotes. What is meant by scalar chain? It is one of the Fayol's 14 principles. It represents a clear line of authority from top level management to the lowest level management. This is nothing but the scalar chain. So it is authority from the highest to the lowest ranks. Okay. Which one of the following elements is odd with the Weber's 6 major principles? Hierarchical structure, unity of command, and in-focused mission. These are the principles of Weber's, but it does not consist technical qualification. So the answer is D. Which one of the following characteristics signifies management as an art? Experimentation and observation, universally accepted principles, test of validity, perfection through practice. This is nothing but management as an art. Operative level comprises of middle level and lower level management, top level and lower level management, top level, middle level management, only lower level management. So operation level consists of both middle level and lower level management. Okay. The idea of management as a science focuses on. So management is both science as well as art. So here the answer is experimentation. Management as a science focus on experimentation, not on personal skill. Okay. Dash is not an agency cost. What are meant by agency cost? These costs arise due to the conflicts between the owners and the managers. So bonding cost, residual cost, monetary costs are the part of agency cost. But concurrent loss is not an agency cost. So the answer is A. Dash observe that management is what manager does. Learn. So this statement was given by Ellen. Laws to be considered by a business organization are, so employment laws, copyright and patent laws, health and safety laws. So the answer is all of the above. Every business organization should consider these laws. Management is a multi-purpose organ that manages a business and manages workers and work. This definition of management was given by Drucker, Peter F. Drucker. Okay. The idea of management is an art focused on. Management is a art because managers are working on their individual skill. This statement relates to management as an art. Management as a science refers to experimentation of the managers. Clear? So next MCQ. Dash consider the profit maximization is the main object of business organization. So the answer is shareholder theory considers that profit maximization is the main objective of a business. Okay. Leaders stewardship choice can facilitate reciprocal stewardship behavior from employee. Who made this observation? Pearson and Marler. So Pearson and Marler made this observation that leadership steward choice can facilitate reciprocal stewardship behavior from the employee. Dash developed the agency theory. Who developed the agency theory? Johnson and Farmer. Stewardship theory was developed in 1997. Okay. Which of the following is a not an agency cost? What is meant by agency cost? This cost occurred due to the misunderstandings between managers and owners. So residual loss, bonding cost, monitoring cost are part of agency cost, but concurrent loss is not part of agency cost. Okay. Which one of the following is not the characteristic of planning? Planning is flexible, planning is pervasive, planning is goal oriented, but planning is not a discrete function. So the answer is D. Which one of the following examples is not included in intangible premises of planning? Public relations. Sorry, here the answer is public relations. As we know, labor hours is also the part of planning. Public relations is not included in the part of planning. So the answer is A. In case of selecting candidates in an organization, the first step is nothing but blank application. They have to fill the application form. So this is the first step in selecting candidates in an organization. Okay. Which one of the following methods is included in the off-the-job training? So which one of these methods included in the off-the-job training? What is meant by off-the-job training? Off-the-job training means working environment away from the actual work site. So coaching, role-playing, apprenticeship training, these are on-the-job training methods. So vestibule training is included in the off-the-job training. The last step of staffing process is placement and induction is the last step of staffing process. Standing plans are used once and then these are discarded. Is it true? No. Why? Because They will be followed continuously, not once used and discarded. Okay. Apprenticeship is an example of off-the-job training. Is it true or false? False, because apprenticeship is an example of on-the-job training. Clear? Yeah. Corporate planning is done by nothing but top level management. Planning will be done by top level management. Okay. Dash refers to the training conducted away from the actual working site. That is nothing but vestibule training, and it is off the site training. Dash is the managerial function which analyzes the alternatives available. Planning is the material function which analyzes the alternatives available. Okay. Dash is the essence of management. Decentralization, span of management, training. Planning is the main essence of management. Long-term plans are prepared by all managers. Is it true or false? False. Okay. Training of the workers is responsibility of supervisors. Training of workers is the responsibility of supervisors. Is it true or false? True. Training of worker is the responsibility of the supervisors. Dash is an intellectual process. Planning is an intellectual process. Okay. Manpower planning is related to human resource management. Is it true or false? True, because manpower planning is related to human resource management. Okay. Dash is the foundation of most successful actions of all enterprises. Planning. Without planning, an organization can be successful? No. Without perfect planning, no organization can be successful. Dash process is called a negative process. Selection process is called negative process. Why? Why selection process is called as a negative process? Selection eliminates unqualified candidates. Okay? It eliminates unqualified candidates, so it is termed as negative process. Dash is concerned with the total manner in which a manager influences the actions. Directing. Directing means manager influences the actions by directing. Okay. Recruitment is a negative process. True or false? False. Recruitment is a positive process. What is the negative process? Selection is the negative process. Okay. In the organization, reporting relationship is the function of organizing. Okay. Which one of the following is not included in the managerial activities? Commanding, controlling, organizing are included in managerial activities, but accounting is not included in the managerial activities. Which one of the following techniques does not imply on-the-job training? Apprenticeship training, T-group training, self-improvement programs, these all are on-the-job training. Vestibule training is the part of the job training, so the answer is C. Okay. Next one, employer referrals are external source of recruitment. True or false? True. External employer referrals are all external source of recruitment. Which one of the following is not a job training method? Self-improvement programs, coaching, job retention, these things are job training methods, but group discussion is not a job training method. Okay. Which one of the following is not an internal source of recruitment? Promotion of employees, transfer of employees, present employees on payroll. These all are included in internal source of recruitment, but employment exchange is external source of recruitment. Okay. So the answer B. Which one of the following is not an external source of recruitment? That means what? Which is internal source of recruitment? Transfer is the internal source of recruitment. Walk-in interview, advertisement, employment exchange, these are external source of recruitment. Okay. Setting objectives is a part of planning. Okay. So the next one, in the early stages, dash the process of coordinating must begin. organizing, controlling, planning and staffing. In the early stages of organizing, the process of coordination must begin, not planning. Dash is not a step in the staffing process. Manpower planning, selection, training and development, these are the steps of staffing process, but education is not the step in staffing process. Dash is the limitation of planning. Goal orientation, flexibility, pervasiveness are not the limitations of planning. Rigidness is the limitation of planning. Why? If anything changes in the environment, we cannot change our plans according to that very quickly. So planning is rigid. It is a limitation to the business. Okay. Which one of the following is of the job training? Which one of the following is of the job training? Low role playing is of the job training, as you know. Which one of the following is involved in the process of organization? Identifying alternatives, analyzing opportunities, forecasting, delegation of authority. So delegation of authority is involved in the process of organizing. The next one. Dash is considering with the marshalling the human and other resources of the organization. Planning is considered with the marshalling and the human and other resources of the organization. Dash stated the management is the art of getting things done through people. Peter F. Drucker state management is the art of getting things done through people. Okay. Determining the time schedule is a job is called scheduling. Schedule is nothing but determining the time schedule. Okay. Which one of the following is an on-the-job training method? Position rotation is on-the-job training method. Conference, communication, coordination, collaborating, monitoring and control. The military organization leads to unified control. So the answer is B. Which one of the following is not a barrier to effective communication? Defensiveness is not a barrier to effective communication. The purpose of control is to fix standard, measure actual performance, find out deviation. So the answer is A, B and C. Dash is that managerial function which initiate organization action. Directing is that managerial function which initiate organized action. Concurrent control is also known as steering control. Okay. The process of communication starts with the encoding. Is it true or false? Is it true or false? False. Why? Communication starts with the idea or message in the sender's mind. Encoding comes after idea formulation. So the answer is false. Dash is means to an end. Controlling is means to an end. So the answer controlling. No. Organizing. Organizing is not an end in itself but way to achieve goals. So it is considered as the end. Controlling by exception is also known as management by exception. Okay. Selective perception is not a barrier to communication. So answer false. Why? Selective perception is a barrier because people interpret messages based on personal bias. Okay. So the answer false. Cybernetics relates to feedback control, as we know this. Channels of communication in an informal organization are known as grapevine. Grapevine means nothing but channel of communication in an informal organization. Okay. Division of work is necessary to enjoy the benefits of specialization. For enjoying the benefit of specialization, what divisions of work must be done? So the answer true. Decoding is said to be the carrier of message sent by a person to another. Is it true or false? False. Why? Decoding is the process of interpreting the message not carrying it. So the answer false. Reporting relationship is a step of controlling. Okay. All the following principles are included in the directing except harmony of objectives, unity of command, coordination are included in directing. Follow up. Is it included in the directing? No. So the answer D. Okay. No news is a good news. This is relates to control by exception. Yeah. So the next MCQ. Which one of the following is not the merit of oral communication? Effective, easy communication, instant feedback. So these are all the merits of oral communication, but authenticity is not a merit of oral communication. Okay. Flow of communication among the same level of people is known as horizontal communication. Okay. Unit of direction states that one individual employee must receive orders from one individual supplier only. Is it true or false? The statement is false. Okay. All the following are barriers to effective communication except selective perception, time pressures, emotions. All are the barriers to effective communication. Interpersonal trust is not a barrier to effective communication. Okay. Coordination must start in the preliminary stage of planning. So in the preliminary stage of planning, coordination must start. Concurrent control is called real-time control. Concurrent control is also known as real-time control. Okay. Which one of the following is the carrier of message sent by one person to another? So the answer is medium. Medium is the carrier message sent by one person to another. In the entire process of management, coordination must be there from planning to leadership, organizing to control, planning to control, none of the above. So the answer is planning to leadership. Dash is what a communicator is communicating. Message, medium, decoding, encoding. The answer is message is what communicator is communicating. Clear? Yeah. Now, dash is the process of entrusting part of work by the superior to his or her subordinates. Delegation of authority is the process of trusting part of the work by the superior to his or her subordinates. Flows from the lower level management to the top level management. This is nothing but responsibility flows from lower level management to the top level management. The authority is derived from position. Power is derived from the formal position of a person in the organization. Legitimate power is derived from the formal position of a person in the organization. Okay. Dispersal of authority throughout the organization is delegation of authority, decentralization of authority, wide span of control, none of A, B and C. So the answer decentralization authority is the dispersal of authority throughout the organization. Responsibility can be delegated. True or false? False, because responsibility cannot be delegated. Okay. The next one, absolute centralization means each and every decision is to be taken by the management. True or false? True. In absolute centralism, each and every decision is taken by only management. Dash has defined authority as the power to take decisions which guide the actions to other. Simon has defined authority as the power to take decisions which guide the actions to others. Power is the ability to punish others for not carrying out orders. Dash power. Reward power, legitimate power, expert power, coercive power. Coercive power is the ability to punish others for not carrying orders. Okay. The process of assigning work to others and giving them authority to do, that is nothing but delegating authority. Yeah. Authority can be delegated, but responsibilities cannot be delegated. True or false? It is true, because authority can be delegated, but responsibilities cannot be delegated. That means exchange or transfer. Referent power is, what is meant by referent power? The power of attracting people towards person himself or herself. So the answer, power of attracting people towards person himself or herself. Responsibility is absolute and can be delegated. True or false? False, because responsibility cannot be delegated. So the answer is true, because responsibility cannot be delegated. Yeah. Authority is right to do something, ability to do something, derived from many sources, not visible from organizational chart. Authority means right to do something. So the answer A. Power can flow in any direction. True or false? True or false? Yeah, false. Dash is called as delegation of authority to the maximum possible extent. Nothing but decentralization is called as delegation of authority to the maximum possible extent. Delegation of authority takes place between superior and subordinate. Span of management is also known as span of activity, span of planning, span of control, all the above. The answer, span of control. For the executives, decentralization of authority helps in the reduction of workload. So, for which executives? Top level, middle level or lower level? For the top level executives, decentralization of authority helps in reduction of workload. Dash represents the maximum number of subordinates which can be supervised by the supervisors. The answer, span of control. Dash is the process of dividing the work of an organization into various units or departments. Departmentation. Departmentation is the process of dividing the work among different units or different departments in the organization. Okay, next concept. The first MCQ is, dash is the use of influence to motivate employees to achieve organizational goals. Leading is the influence to motivate employees to reach organization's goals. So leading is the influence. Leadership is a compromisation between laissez-faire and autocratic leadership. Which leadership? Democratic leadership is a compromise between laissez-faire and autocratic. So next one. Dash of motivation is also known as two-factor theory of motivation, Hertzberg theory. Next, leader exercise complete control over the subordinates. Autocratic leader exercise complete control over the subordinates. Motivation is vital for maximizing efficiency of operations. Is it true or false? True. Motivation is very vital for maximizing efficiency of operations. Under leadership systems, goals are set and work-related decisions are taken by the subordinates. So, under democratic leadership system, goals are set and work-related decisions are taken by the subordinates. Dash propounded the need-based theory of motivation. Maslow propounded the need-based theory of motivation. Autocratic leadership is also known as authorization. Okay. Hertzberg has modified Maslow's theory of needs theory. Is it true or false? True. Hertzberg has modified Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. Which leadership style permits quick decision making? Democratic style, laissez-faire leadership, authorization leadership. Authorization leadership, quick decision making. Okay, it permits quick decision making. An individual An individual's degree of like or dislike of oneself is known as self-esteem. Yeah. Close supervision, control of subordinates, centralization of authority, autocratic leadership styles are the features of theory X or Y? Theory X, yeah. Leadership continuum was developed by Tenenbaum and Schmidt. So the answer is true or false? It is true. Room's theory of motivation is also known as need hierarchy theory. Room's theory of motivation is also known as need hierarchy theory. Which one of the following elements is associated with Herzberg model? Hygiene, esteem, safety, self-actualization. So which one of these? Hygiene element is associated with Herzberg model. Under the Likert's 4 management systems, which one of the following adopts a paternalistic approach towards the subordinates? So the answer, system 2, that is benevolent autocratic. Free reign leadership involves complete delegation of authority. Is it true or false? True, yeah. Dash is a type of leadership in which leader serves as a liaison and relinquishes his leadership position. In which economy? In which type of leadership? Laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire leadership. Herzberg's model is said to be an extension of Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Herzberg model is said to be an extension of Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Okay. The motivation which is based on force or fear is called. The motivation which is based on force or fear is called. The motivation which is based on force or fear is called negative motivation. Which system of management is ideal system as per Likert? Which system? System 4 is an ideal system as per Likert. Leadership does not exist without subordinates, supervisors, managers. Leadership does not exist without followers. Okay. The concept of managerial grid was developed by Blake and Mouton. Okay. Achievement motivation was developed by McClellan. Okay. Management may force workers to call off a strike by giving an ultimate that otherwise they will suspend. This is the use of power, coercive power use. Okay. Leadership is leadership philosophy in which the goal of the leader is to serve. So it is servant leadership. Okay. Servant leadership is a leadership philosophy in which the goal of the leader is to serve. Maslow's theory explains about human needs, financial needs, machinery needs, technical needs. What's the answer? Human needs. Maslow's theory explains about human needs. Okay. Next one. Dash is an act of choice wherein a person comes to a conclusion about what has to be done in a given situation. Decision making is an act of choice wherein a person comes to a conclusion about what has to be done in a situation. Yeah. Dash is not a quantitative technique of decision making. Management by objectives is not a quantitative technique. Linear programming, game theory, simulation, these are the quantitative techniques of decision making. Decision making is expected to be based on rational thinking of the manager. Okay. Decision making is not a selective process. Is it true or false? False. Decision making is a selective process. Heuristic techniques refers to trial and error techniques. Okay. PERT, P-E-R-T, PERT stands for Program Evaluation and Review Technique. Which one of the following is an example of non-routine decisions? Decisions related to fill up the vacated position of the organization, decision related to launch a new production plant, decision related to restructure the organization for improvement, decision related to take over a sick unit. So which of this is a non-routine decision? Decision related to launch a new product plant is a non-routine decision, okay? Decisions which are repetitive and can be established well in advance to solve the day-to-day problems in our organization are known as programmed decisions, okay? Simulation is useful to make decision under competition. Yeah. Which one of the following is not an objective of MIS? To facilitate the decision making process. Is it the objective of MIS? Yes. To provide requisite information at each level of management. Is it the objective of MIS? Yes. To support decision making process. This is also an objective of MIS. To recruit the people for the system. It is not an objective of MIS. Okay. Creative techniques are also known as participative techniques. Is it true or false? Yes, it is true. In making a decision, game theory is useful under conditions of competitive rivalry. Under competitive rivalry only game theory is useful. Programmed decisions are concerned with repetitive and routine decisions, not unique or not non-unique basic decisions. Programmed decisions are concerned with repetitive and routine decisions. Brainstorming is one of the participative techniques. Is it true or false? Yeah. Brainstorming is one of the participative techniques. Dash is the first step in the decision making process. Selection of an alternative, developing the alternatives, evaluation of the alternatives, identification and diagnosis of the real problem. The first step is identification and the diagnosis of the real problem. Programmed decisions are taken by dash level of managers, lower level of managers. PERT and CPM are the techniques of network analysis. Level managers take non-programmed decisions. Which level managers takes non-programmed decisions? Top level, middle level or lower level? So the answer is top level managers takes non-programmed decisions. So with this we have completed all bullet 400 MCQs. Okay. So try to revise all these MCQs 2 or 3 times by watching this video. So again, remain the order. First you have to refer markets, money and banking and economic and business environment as your first priority. Our next priority is management and our last priority is the basic concepts, that is from 1 to 6 chapters. Okay. So in this PDF, some of the answers are not correct. So don't rely on this PDF. Only rely on this PDF after listening to the class, so you can know what are the MCQs are correct and what are wrong. Okay. Thank you from the team BCCA.